Thank you. Have a good night. Okay, man. Tell you, they always get these homeless dudes try to walk up on me from behind me. I spot them. I'm like, what the hell y'all trying to do, man? Let me tell you, as a TI, right, knowing that how they use homeless people, young people, right, particularly to try to commit certain crimes, right, because they figure, you know, they can get away with it, or they figure, you know, if they're going to, if it's a mentally injured homeless man, they can manipulate him to hurt somebody, and you know he's mentally ill, right? So, but this is what they do. When I look at just look at what happened with you know, Martin Luther King mother. You know, look what happened to Kwame Ture. Right? You look at what happened to a lot of civil rights leaders, not, you know, exempting the assassination of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X in the United States, right? But they use certain groups of people, certain kind of persons, to manipulate them to engage in certain things, right? And I was recently I talked about Malcolm X's grandson, you know, being invited to go to Mexico and gets into a bar fight, and he dies. Not the person who brought him there, right? You know, we got to understand that there are those within our community that look like us that are agents of white supremacy. And they're agents of those within the religious institution, again, particularly the Catholic institution, or any institution that has to do with Christianity. Right? These are white supremacist religion. And we must understand that. Right? I remember a few years ago, another one of my person on Facebook I was friends with invited me to speak to over some weekend and have you, and I'm like, bro, I don't even know you. You know what I'm saying? You have not reached out to me, but you invited me to be a speaker and such and such. You didn't even say, hey, my brother, let me get your number so I can call you and talk to you because I want to invite you to, you know, speak. Dysfunction has to deal, you know, black empowerment, black enliftment, and stuff like that. You know, you just straight out, I want to, you know, I'm gonna invite you to speak at this and such and such, and then no follow-up, right? No follow-up. I was like, no, man, not interested. It's okay. Right? Being able to spot the infiltrators in the black community. Also, she grabbed, put on her ears. Yeah, using young, like I said, they use young people, right? Then also in the TI community. Recently, there was a TI female who keep posting, you know, a whole bunch of stuff online about their, you know, how they're making her have orgasms and all this shit, and they're making her sexually excited, Harry. So I sent her a private message. I said, listen, you don't need to be posting stuff like that. I said, when you post stuff like that, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to send a honey trap, okay, to contact you because you're posting stuff like that. I said, you know, don't post these stuff on Facebook, all right? And I told her, you need to go see a therapist. And I gave her information about how torture could sometimes lead victims to have, you know, sexual excitement, right? It's all part of torture. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. Once you understand, you know, what it is that they're doing, you know, understand how the body responds, right? The body responds in many ways. You know, even victims who are traumatized get sexually excited. It's just part of the of how the mind works. All right, and what is that they do?
Please exit through the rear door.